those films were good, but I don't think they really exploited Chris's real talents and attributes. And I'm not even just talking about his ass.
So this is a very exciting one. My big guest on tonight's show is the brains behind Jojo Rabbit, also a personal favourite, What We Do in the Shadows. It's directed and stars in Marvel's Thor, Love and Thunder. Oh my goodness, Mr. Taika Waititi is on the show. Hello, sir.
Hello.
You look incredibly snazzy. Can I ask what your style icons are? Because, I mean, that shirt is absolutely incredible. Where'd you get your style influence from?
This is a great shirt. I mean, it's basically just me. I've always been my own styling icon, and it really came from just a lifetime of just smelling clothes and putting on what's clean. It's
very on trend at the moment. The 90s and the 80s are seeing a massive comeback at the moment, so you are right on trend.
Oh, mate, you know, how about that TV show ruining that Kate Bush song?
Is that genuinely, do you feel like Stranger Things ruined Kate Bush?
I feel like I've ruined all of these songs by putting them in my movies too. Like Immigrant Song, I can't listen to that anymore. I've ruined that for myself. One of my favorite songs. GNR, the Guns N' Roses, all through Love and Thunder. You know, it's gonna be a while before I can really hear those songs and not have to think of Thor.
Your new film, Marvel's Thor, Love and Thunder, you obviously direct and star in it. You get a front row seat. You get to watch some of these awesome actors. But how do you manage all these personalities? Like, how do you get the best superhero out of somebody?
With Chris, really, with Thor, you know, in the first two films, yeah, those films were good, but I don't think they really exploited Chris's real talents and attributes. And I'm not even just talking about his ass. I'm talking about like what's on the inside. You know, on the outside, yeah, pretty close to perfect. On the inside, he's you know, even more so with just who he is. You know, he's very caring, very funny, and he's just a warm, loving person. And I think that's what we needed with Thor. You know, you want your superhero. If they're gonna call the movie Thor, Thor has to be the coolest character in the movie, and he has to be the one that you want to follow on an adventure. And that's really what you get with Chris. And you know, so I just wanted to like pull that out and like show that as the hero. And I think with a lot of them as well, that's, you know, with Natalie as the mighty Thor, yeah, very much just like a lot of her personality in there. You know, she again is another really funny person who, in the first two films, basically was just Thor's girlfriend, but in this film is like, you know, is there on her own as this really awesome, independent, powerful superhero in her own right.
You've got such an incredible cast in this film. I really want to talk about Christian Bale in particular. Must have been a joy to work with. His villain character is so good. I was wondering, in your opinion, who are some of the like best villains of all time? Did you draw upon any of them as inspiration for Christian Bale's character?
Well, I mean, I think we all know that one of the greatest villains of all time is Heath Ledger's Joker, but I would never mention that to Christian. It's like, hey, that movie you're in, you'd be more like the other guy. So, you know, I think we had talked a little bit about just, yeah, on the page anyway, that villain is already really interesting. It's a sympathetic character who's gone through something pretty traumatic. And also it's Christian Bale. Doesn't really have to do much. Just have to really point the camera at him and let him do his thing. He's just that good.
Most people struggle to do one job properly. You do several, in my opinion, really, really well. Were you one of those kids who were like,
it's
really?
Just your opinion.
It's just me, nobody else. Were you one of those kids, super curious? Were you like quick to try lots of new things? Were you able to pick things up quite quickly? You seem super talented, but I want to know where it all started.
I would say, I'm just going to be honest, because, you know, New Zealanders are too humble. I was good at everything. I'm pretty good at most things I do. Sports-wise, I'm incredibly coordinated. I'm just good at everything, guys, except mathematics. I hate it. It's terrible at it. But hey, look at me now. You don't need maths. If there's any message I want to give to everyone out there, you don't need math. It's stupid. So
there aren't any students listening. That's what we should take away from today. You don't need maths.
Don't be a fool. Leave school. In my early years, I found it hard to finish projects because I was always distracted by a new thing, and it was only in like my late 20s. I started making films when I was about 29, 30, and that's when I started feeling like, oh, this is a job that combines all of the things I love, and I get to kind of like be the boss of all of it, and I get to have creative control over all of this stuff, and it just became the perfect job for me. David Bowie, to go back to him, he did say a really wonderful thing about creativity. It's like, You know, it's that space where, like, you know, when you're walking out in the ocean and you're starting to lose your footing on the bottom of the of the ocean, and you're kind of getting up, the water's up to your neck, you're unsure of your footing, and you're like, am I going to go under or not? And that little kind of like nervousness and that slight panic feeling. He said, once you're in that space creatively, that's where all the gold comes.
Wow.
I really believe in that. It's like, you know, if you like, that's why I go into these projects not knowing at all how they'll turn out.
Fantastic. Taika, this has been a real bucket list interview of mine. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us. We'll see you again
Love
soon.
you, brother. Thank you so much, mate.
See you later.
This is Heart.